And we're back, folks. What's going on? So I've been down for a few days, but back out here in the yard today. Got to take this front core support off and get a few things down in here taken apart, loosened up. Where next goal is to pull this engine. And so without any further ado, let's get started. So over the last roughly 210,000 miles, the car has been driven by me, maintained by me, and everything short of putting tires on it and having it inspected has been done by me. So naturally, I want to keep this car alive. I really do like it. It's in really great shape. It still has the original clutch. Although my ex-girlfriend tried to destroy it, she still didn't. The engine doesn't leak. Transmission doesn't leak. The clutch slips a little, but is still the factory original clutch. So what it appears to be, I'm gonna pull this thing off here. We've got a few coolant hoses still attached back in there. We're gonna unhook those and pretty much just make sure everything that attaches to the motor is unhooked. So if we can get this car or this engine completely unhooked from the car today, then we can focus on these motor mounts and get the thing dropped down. The idea here is going to be use the wheels, remove the core support, and drop the whole subframe down. I'm going to unhook the shocks as well. So when I drop the subframe down, I can use the wheels and some leverage motion. I don't have to worry about catching it. I can just roll it straight out. And then we can figure out when it's on flat land over there, we can figure out what we're going to do with it. There's a good chance it's just going to end up on the trailer over here. We'll get it on the trailer. I think I know a guy nearby that wants to buy the engine. He's going to tear it apart, use it for parts, or build something. Anyway, it seemed perfect for what he's got going on. So without any further ado, folks, let's get to it. Alright, found a little bit of hidden damage on this cross member right here, this crossbar, crash bar. Looks like it had a front impact on there. They told me that the bumper had been ripped off because she backed into a parking post or something. But there's clearly some front end damage going on with that right there. Anyway, we will go to the other side here. Yeah. Nice, not so nice. Figure out what we got going on. So for anybody that doesn't know, on your fuel system you have this little cap right here. If you unscrew it, you see a bleeder valve on the inside. Now don't push that down until you're absolutely ready to get covered in fuel, because it will spray out at you all the pressure that was in there, that was built up in the line. This is how you can release the pressure. Now you're going to want to do this before you either unclip it down there or unhook the fuel rail or whatever you choose to decide here. You want to depressurize this line. I've found the easiest way to do this and keep your mess contained is to put a rag underneath the fuel line there. And you want to take this, just kind of put it over the top like that, however you can. Use a flathead screwdriver. Find that pin, push it down. Now, good news, this thing, I think, has no pressure in the line. Okay, yeah, there was no pressure in there already, so good news. So this is fairly easy. This little clip, pop the downside piece out, and the clip comes out. Now, this piece right here, yeah, okay. So that requires a special fuel tube tool to get out. I have one. Let me go grab it real quick. All right, so here's a little tool we got. It's a little fuel tube tool. It opens up, slides on the fuel rail like so. And once it's on there, it's got the little clip that sticks out, so it's going to protrude. It's going to stick into there like so. Get that on, you close it up, and just kind of keep twisting it and pushing it in. There it goes. See, it's in spot. It's almost in spot, and you keep wiggling a little bit. You'll know when it's there. It'll just pop. The hose on the back will just pop right out. Alright, there we go. Gotta use a little bit of force with it, but it comes out pretty easy. Now that the fuel line's unhooked, we're gonna get these two coolant hoses off. And this one hose that goes up to the master cylinder there. Well, it got hot out. Had to get a drink. Alright, so check this out. The struggle is a little bit real right now. I did get all of the hoses on the back side there, unhooked from the heater core, fuel line, stuff like that. But down here, we've got the steering rack, and I've taken the bolt out through the tire well on the driver's side. I took the bolt out there. I'm gonna have to get an air chisel and come up from the bottom and probably whack it to loosen it up. So I've got my air chisel, and let's give it a shot. I'm not finding that right angle through all the obstacles here. God. Right. Headphone users beware. I think it moved a little bit. Let's go on roll and see what we can do. Yeah, there we go. All right. And for anybody curious about what I was using, it's just a little cobalt air chisel from Lowe's with the standard packet tip that came with it even. I think you can get these things for like 40, 50 bucks, maybe even cheaper than that. But it worked really well. I rarely need that thing, but anytime I do, it's pretty good. Out here in the field, I use a 150 max PSI 3-gallon air tank. It gets the job done. It's pretty good. You can throw it in the truck and take it with you. Luckily, I have a power source right there. So it's from the old pool pump, and we're just going to leave it in when we build a little shop building there. But so yeah, it's pretty nice. Just sliding back under the car. This is when I was trying to get the chisel through here. There's the bolt that I was trying to get to up there, or the little coupling, and I had to shoot through all of this stuff. So it made it a little bit difficult, but you saw in real time, in less than 2 minutes, I had that thing stuck up and through there and removed. So now the game plan is, we've got a bolt here and here. Then up on the front, we got a bolt here and another one over here. So those 4 bolts are going to come out, and theoretically, this whole thing should just kind of fall out of here. Now, I haven't removed the exhaust, although I have pulled it out of the hangers back there, so it'll flex down a little bit. I figured if I can get this thing on the ground, it'll make it a lot easier to bust these bolts, because every single one of them is going to have to get broken off to extract. I don't think heat would even work on them. They're pretty bad right now. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to set up some kind of crazy contraption. Okay, so I just keep finding little things that I gotta do. It's no biggie, but we need to unhook these soft brake lines. They can stay attached to the car here, that's fine. But we've got the strut unhooked from the top, and we're just gonna leave it on this, unhook the brake lines, and everything else should be okay. Yeah, everything else should just roll out with it. And then once it's out here in the yard, we can figure it out. So I'm not 100% sure, but we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna start taking this off. I think you take these outer 2 bolts off, and that releases this piece from the car. You're gonna take these 3 pieces off, or these 3 bolts off, to take this top piece out, because it slides in here and bolts down to that. These 2 pieces here are what actually hold the mount to the engine. So I'm going to start by taking these 2 and these 3, and just remove that. I'm still leaving the rear, and still leaving the front. Then we're going to come over and we're going to work on this one. So over the last roughly 210,000 miles, the car has been driven by me, maintained by me, and everything short of putting tires on it and having it inspected has been done by me. So naturally, I want to keep this car alive. I really do like it. It's in really great shape. It still has the original clutch. Although my ex-girlfriend tried to destroy it, she still didn't. The engine doesn't leak. The transmission doesn't leak. The clutch slips a little, but it's still the factory original clutch. And I have an upgrade going in soon. So everything about this car says keep me, except the rust. That's the problem. So the car that I've drove currently has 342,000 miles on it. Those were not easy miles. The first 130 so thousand was put on by my dad driving to and from work. I don't even think he used first gear that whole time. He just putted around. When I got the car, everything changed. When I got the car, I was slapping gears at 6,000 RPMs, spinning the tires, hanging corners as hard as I could with it. I drove the wheels off that thing. Alright folks, so everything is going well overall. I was trying to take the other shock off over there just to make a little bit of room. This side's a little bit harder to get the shock off, but the coolant or the windshield washer tank is right there, so I have to manipulate it around it. The problem is, let's go around to the back here. Under here, you've got the muffler. It goes up and over the rear crossbar, or the rear axle, I guess they call it. I wouldn't call it an axle. And then you can see from there on out, it goes out. Nothing is connected except to this little arch right here. And I believe as this thing's trying to be pulled out, it's making contact with that and it's not allowing it. So I don't have any metal cutting tools with me right now. That's kind of a bummer, but I'm gonna figure something out. So what do we got going on here? All right, so like I said earlier, the muffler couldn't go over top of the rear axle thing here. So in order to do that, I've got the rear end of the car supported on a jack stand and the wheel off of it now. There's 2 bolts on this shock. I'm just gonna take the top one off and let it drop down. But I do have the little jack underneath it there, a little jack that could, supporting it. So I don't know how much tension is on that spring, if any, but I'd rather release it at my own rate instead of let it do it all on its own when that top bolt pops out. Anyway, let's get to it. So the idea is, take this car that I just got it for next to nothing. I'm going to take it and strip it down to the bare metal. And when I say that, I mean literally everything is coming off of it. The only parts that probably won't be removed will be the brake lines, maybe the master cylinder, the gas pedal, and the fuel tank. Those are the 4 things that I think are staying on the car, and pretty much everything else has to be removed. And like that, folks, I'm actually impressed with myself. That is a first time in a lifetime. Okay. All right, let me have my moment here. I'm pretty happy right now. Like that went way smoother than I thought it would. I know we had a little hiccup back there with the rear wheels and all, but man, once I got it down here, I had to drop the brake line down, and once I got that, the whole thing was able to come out. We're replacing these. I'll be sanding that down, and that makes it look nicer. But drop that down, and the muffler was able to come out without cutting anything. So just pulled the whole thing out. Now that it's out, I can come back tomorrow or whenever, and I can work on these. I've already soaked them with PB Blaster. I can get all the sensors and stuff off of it. I'm not using this one. I have a better exhaust in my other car. Same thing, motor mounts and all that stuff. That's all coming from my other car too. It's I've got over-the-top performance mounts. Really good company for the ecotech world. But guys, that's awesome. I'm so stoked. I'm so happy for myself. I did not actually think I was going to be able to do this. There was a moment today where I was doubting everything up until now. But we got it this far apart. Now we just need to do this one more time. One more time. We got that other green car out front. We're gonna tear it down exactly like this, right there. And while we're doing that, we're gonna be putting the new parts on this car as they come off of that one. So stay tuned for that, guys. It's bound to just be huge. Like, we've got a lot of stuff getting ready to pop off here with this. And I hope you're as excited as I am. Yeah. Got it off there. Easy to get all this stuff back here. Pretty empty now. That's not sketchy at all. Just saying. There's no rules in my rule book that says that's not sketchy. Safety third, guys. Safety third. So yeah, I'm gonna clean up the old mess out here. Got a few parts off the car today. Got the main chunk off the car today. I believe with that we can start working on the other car. I'm gonna have to find some more cinder blocks. We're running out. I need about 8 per car. Maybe 10 per car would be nice. But yeah. All right, guys. Well, folks, that's our show today. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up if you haven't already, and smash the subscribe button. we've got a lot more coming with this and the other car here in the next few days. I'm going to try to knock out as much as we can. We haven't had any rain, not supposed to, for at least 3 or 4 more days, so should get some good work done on at least tearing this apart the rest of the way. But yeah, if you enjoyed what you saw, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And well, I'm hungry. I'm going to go inside and get me something to eat tonight. All right, peace, guys. Never stop learning.